Hello everybody and welcome back to the studio today. I'm here with Gary Wilson. Now we've had you on this stage before and we were talking about seller financing on the last program. Now Gary's back with some testimonials of what's happened just this month. You're doing some amazing things in Utah in real estate.
Well, I'm grateful for the Federal Reserve. You know, they raise the rates sometimes. It's not all that bad. It's great for an investor. And we've had some phenomenal success right now.
Absolutely. And because of the raising of these mortgage interest rates, what we're going to talk about here today is working like a charm. There's so much opportunity right now here in Utah and all over the country for that matter, but you're located here in Utah, and we're going to show them some actual deals. We're going to show you some closed deals that Gary has just done and how he has done a 1 to 10 leverage. What does that mean? How would you like to take your current cash and 10x it and have a 10 times as big portfolio, and you did this in a month?
It's amazing that it's kind of fallen in my lap. You know, it's taken years of doing other bank traditional financing, putting a renter into it.
Yeah.
That's about a 1 in 4 leverage. And you were mentioning
Wow.
1 in 10. So this is 6 times greater than what we've normally seen. And it's all because the rates are so high. People don't have another alternative other than seller finance.
And all they listen to is the news. And what is the news telling them?
I was talking to the common retail buyer,
Yeah.
you know, the consumer. And as far as an investor, you know, everybody's hesitant. They're not buying because the rates are too high. Well, people need to sell their home, and so they're looking for alternatives. And seller financing is what a lot of agents are talking about.
Yep.
So they're turning towards the seller finance, and that becomes an option where they have some capital up front, and they can wait 3 years. And that gives us the opportunity to slip in, give them that capital, and then get a renter in there and collect 3 years down the road.
So what you were showing me and what we're going to show right now, you can have as little as 10% down. 10% down. I mean, that's as much you're going to have to buy a second home anyways. So let us show you how you can take your money and put it on steroids, doing it the right way with the right strategies. See, that's the thing. I always tell Gary people that there's no such thing as a bad real estate market. It's what you do within that market that matters.
Yeah.
So let's show some of our viewers here today some of the deals that you've recently done. Let's talk about this one right here.
And these are tough. We're going to blow this up for you, but this is the first house we bought, 500,000 Park City. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath.
Wow.
It seemed like nothing big, but we have a renter in there that's paying us $1,000 more per month than what we pay on the mortgage. So.
And they say you can't find deals
And
in Park
I got
City.
this for 10% down.
10% down in Park City, Utah.
Less than 50,000.
That is amazing. Tell me about this one.
415,000. This is South Jordan, right in the heart of Daybreak townhome. This is where all the new buildings going. This will be an easy rental, an easy appreciation home. Very highly desirable neighborhood in the south end area of all of Salt Lake City.
People love Daybreak, absolutely. What about this one?
This one was 290, almost 300,000. It was down in Hurricane, Utah. We had a lot of people to go snowbird down in Utah.
Yep.
People will need a lower price. This is a perfectly minted home. We got it for $15,000.
Oh my goodness.
That's it, $15,000. No bank qualifications, no purchase with your credit, no tax history. Capital came in, compensated the seller. She's happy. We actually can hold this for 28 years.
Oh my goodness.
I can keep renting that thing until it just appreciates to be $1 million home, 28 years down the road.
Yeah, and if you don't know where Hurricane is, it's right there by St. George, Utah. Prime real estate. You're finding deals in Park City and Hurricane and Daybreak. This is incredible. How do you find these deals?
It's a network. There's off-market opportunities. You work. It's a more complicated process to go through.
Sure.
But networking with other wholesalers who are providing some of these, and picking those up. But it's a lot of who you know. So I've spent many years trying to figure out this model. Anyone can pick it up. You can work notice of defaults. You can work expired listings. So there's ways that people who are not able to sell traditionally, they're looking for that option. And when you make contact with them, say, hey, we're able to help get some capital in your hands. Let us take it for a 3-year play. We'll put a renter in, and we give them a down payment. Pretty strong. They're happy.
And if you don't want to have to go and spend years learning what Gary's learned, can people partner with you?
I do every deal with a partner.
There you go.
So we're not trying to do this by ourselves. It takes a multiple tribe, I guess, to work together.
Yep.
And I would be limited if it was just my own funds.
Yeah.
This way, I'm not limited. We can grow as much as we can find. So we're looking for opportunity to work with others.
And if you haven't seen the first video that I did with Gary, you got to go watch that, because he always keeps the investor in the driver's seat. You give them 51% ownership in the LLC. Therefore, you call the shots. You're doing majority of the work for them. There might be doctors, dentists, people that want to get into real estate, but maybe they don't know how to do it. But you do. This is proof in the pudding. Tell me about this next one.
$345,000. This was in Clearfield, Utah. This is a duplex. We had an upstairs, downstairs. The upstairs is fully renovated. We just had to buy and rent immediately. All these are buy and rent properties, so we're not going in spending any time. We can get some cash flow. This one can net right about $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So in some cases we split that. Other cases I offer it all to the investor.
Wow.
So it's a great little home that somebody who can get a rent to own on a duplex. I'll rent to own the top level. Then when they're able to buy 2 to 3 years down the road, they have a renter already inside the home that they can pay half their mortgage. So a duplex is a great rent to own scenario for people trying to reestablish their credit and get into a home. So our program's teed up perfectly. It's a combination of an investor, combination of an opportunity seller who's selling it, and then a renter who's coming in and paying that mortgage for the 3 years.
Wow.
So it's basically just, over the years learning how to orchestrate those 3 different pools of people.
Yeah.
And we come out with a win-win.
This is incredible. Let's show them one more. What's this one?
379, we bought this in Ogden. It's the first house we bought with the whole scenario of them. But beautiful little brand new home. Hadn't sold, the house burnt down, put on a whole entire new home. And I just put a lady in there with her 2 kids, a mother, single widow. She got divorced.
Wow.
She's able to move in. We actually reduced the rent a little bit for her. We're trying to get $2,000. We gave it to her. Actually, I was trying to get $2,200, and we gave it to her for $1,700.
Wow.
Sometimes you just got to do what's right.
Yeah.
And this is one of those moments where it's kind of helping her. She was looking for around 17 was a stretch. So we just thought, it's a win-win. We got to remember that we have other people involved in this.
Yeah. And
so we gave it to her for a little bit less, which can help her find a home, because she was literally almost homeless living out of her car.
That's amazing. That's one thing I love about you, Gary, is you always do the right thing. It's always about taking care of people. See, if people try to get into real estate, and I've seen this because I've taught a lot of real estate classes. I just got back from Boise. I just got back from Hawaii, where I was teaching real estate investors. And I always tell these investors, if you're coming in here trying to learn how to take advantage of people in bad situations, get out. I will not teach you that. That's not how I do business. It's not how you should do business. When you take care of people, when you help people get what they want, you're going to get what you want tenfold, and this is proof. You took an investor's money. He had, $200,000 in cash. And now you were to 1 to 10 leverage. That portfolio in a month is now what, $2 million?
$2 million.
$2 million
portfolio.
Wow.
Earning appreciation on what it is. Now, Utah hasn't gone down.
No.
We're still raising our values, holding strong.
Yep.
And there's still a huge demand. As soon as they lower the rates, it's going to blow up. This value is going to jump. It's going to be a 2021, perhaps. I'm not the expert, but that's my estimation.
Barbara Corcoran said it would be.
Yeah. And, a good story I want to share also. We had this last month of November, I had a renter who's been in one of these seller finance homes for 3 years. And they came full circle. We started this home, we purchased it 3 years ago in a little tiny town in Huntington, Utah, $180,000.
Wow.
3 years later, we went through the rate increase of 2021, it jumped up.
Wow.
We had a slow, stalled out month of a year of 2022. In 2023, they finally refinanced here in 2024, and it was $297,000. We made $150,000 on that home. We gave $40,000 back to the renter for what they put in.
Sure.
We treated them very well. We gave them sweat equity, so they were happy because they only came in with 28, and we gave them $40,000 of credit.
That's a great return.
They reduced their loan. They were able to qualify, and then we also had the partners split 110.
Wow.
And you know what these partners were? These partners were going to lose their home. They were $6,000 behind on payments.
What?
And so they waited 3 years, and we handed them a check. The mom, 45. They're divorced.
Yeah.
The mom got 45. The ex-husband got 35.
Yeah.
And then I got the difference. So we partnered, right? We gave it up. Honestly, I could have done that myself.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, if you take care of other people first, it's going to come around, and the good karma rolls into play. That's
Absolutely
the name
does.
of this game, no doubt.
Now everybody's going to talk about you in a good light, and that's the best marketing we could ever ask for is word of mouth.
It's a good story because it had a great ending. Everybody did.
Everybody
well.
won.
Everybody won, and they just had to be patient and let the time take its toll. The values increased, everything worked, and so you're thinking, well, if I buy this home, how am I going to get out?
Yeah.
It's going to be a significant payday for you. These people had no idea, and the greatest satisfaction I've had in my real estate is when I'm able to see these people go cash in a $45,000 check.
Absolutely. Now, wholesaling. You just did a deal because you were so tied up in all these other deals you're doing that you didn't have time to go fix it up. Tell our listeners if they're interested in knowing what wholesaling is and how they can also partner with you on those types of deals.
Wholesaling is off-market property. There might be something that really needs some fix-up. So my neighbor knocked on my door and said, hey, I've got grandma. She's moved in a nursing home, and then she eventually passed. So he had a home he wanted to sell. I said, sure, I can have it. I didn't have the time. I was doing a lot of seller financing, but I had networks and I knew people who were selling and looking for opportunity to spend 3-4 months to fix it up. Again, because of my time, I said, well, I'll just wholesale.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'd make $50,000 or maybe I'd make $10,000. It turned out being about a $50,000 payday because somebody wanted the house more than I did.
Sure.
And so we have a great network. There's a lot of good people in this community that will fix up. They were going to go and make probably $100,000 on the home after it's fixed up and sold.
Sure.
So the wholesalers won, who got in between the investor.
Yeah.
The sellers got what they were looking for. They sold their home for $450,000, their asking price, no commissions, no nothing.
Wow.
No, I didn't negotiate down. I took their asking price, turned around, got their purchase. I made some money, the wholesaler made some money, and the investors out buying their home, fixing it up, or making money. So it's easy to do if you have connections with the right people.
Absolutely. Tell them about one more deal that you did, the one with the renters, the 3 rents, the 110,000.
Oh yes, that was the seller finance that we did down in Utah. Yeah, in Huntington, Utah.
Huntington,
that,
nice.
That was the one that we had. Again, it started at 180, but then it turned around and turned out to be the 297. So we made 110,000 after we paid out 40,000. So that was a similar scenario that was just shared earlier.
You see how easy he makes this look, guys? That's the thing, is if you don't know how to do what Gary knows how to do, then maybe you and Gary need to work together. And so that's why we want to do this interview today, is to introduce you to people that want to get into real estate but maybe don't know how. Maybe they're sitting on the sidelines right now in cash. And I know a lot of people are right now because all they hear is doom and gloom, and you're listening to the retail noise that's being made in real estate. But what we're talking about here is how to be a player. See, players play and spectators buy tickets. If you want to win in the game of real estate, you got to be a player, and you're only as strong as the people that are on your team. So team up with Gary. Gary, if people want to get to work with you and get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Email and text are both welcome. The phone number is 801-541-9757. Just send a text, say, hey, I'd like to have a conversation. I've done this with all the investors I've had, and I've had probably over 30 different investors that work with us. And each time, there's not going to be a pressure. This isn't something I need to push you in. I have enough people to keep me busy.
Yep.
But if you want to play, we're welcoming, and we're scaling up to handle growth right now.
Yes.
You've been a great resource. We've been partnering together, and we've helped some of your contacts come in and step and turn basically large sum of money, do the same 1 in 10 leverage, and they're in the pipeline right now. We're buying homes for this partner.
When you find a good thing, you want to tell your friends about it, right? And you want to play as well. And so that's the thing, is that if you don't know how to play, Gary, you'll teach us, which I love. You know, I teach real estate investors all the time, and you do too, and you've had great mentors. Now you're paying it forward. Now you're passing it on to the next generations. If you're sitting in cash like these people that you just saw, proof's in the pudding. They were sitting in cash, and within 1 month were able to 10x their portfolio. Imagine doing that for you and your family. I think your family might be pretty happy with you in doing that. Get to know Gary. His number, once again, is
801-541-9757.
That's right, or GaryWilsonRealEstate at gmail.com. Let him know that you saw it right here on the program. And Gary, we're so excited for you. What a great testimonial that the proof is in the pudding. You know, there's a lot of talkers out there. You're a doer. And I love that about you, man. It's so exciting. Real estate is door number one. In fact, it was Andrew Carnegie who said that more millionaires have been made through real estate than through all industrial investments combined. And he knew a lot about money. That guy was pretty rich. I listened to him. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions, give Gary a call today, and we'll see you guys on the next one.